Janad Trust here. In this video, I'm going to go over 6 core financial literacy concepts, most common financial scams, and how to approach investing for long-term stability. Now, let's talk about the 6 core financial literacy concepts. First is budgeting, right? Budget creation strategies. Calculate after-tax income. Start with your net income, post-tax earnings, including side gigs or irregular income. Adjust for deductions like 401k contributions or insurance premiums to reflect true disposable income. Select a budgeting framework like the 50-30-20 rule, like allocate 50% to needs, housing, utilities, 30% to wants like entertainment, and 20% to savings/debt repayment. There's zero-based budgeting, right? Assign every dollar to a category like expenses, savings, or debt, ensuring income minus outflows equals zero. And then there's the envelope system. Use cash or separate accounts for categories like groceries, entertainment to curb overspending and track your spending, right? Monitor expenses for at least 1 month using apps, spreadsheets, or receipts to identify patterns and unnecessary costs. Prioritize goals like define short-term like emergency fund and long-term objectives like retirement. Allocate 10 to 20% of income to savings/investments, adjusting for deficits by cutting discretionary spending. Automate savings like set up automatic transfers to savings or debt accounts post payday to ensure consistency, and stick to your budget. So regularly, review, right? Revisit your budget quarterly to adapt to income changes, life events, or shifting of priorities. Build flexibility. Include a miscellaneous category for unexpected expenses to avoid derailing your plan. Reduce temptation. Use cash envelopes or separate accounts for discretionary spending. Avoid high-risk spending triggers like online shopping when stressed. Seek support. Engage in an accountability partner or online community to stay motivated. Leverage tools, right? You can use budgeting apps like Mint, YNAB, or worksheets from trusted sources like the FTC or CFPB, right? Adjust mindset, right? Focus on progress, not perfection. Celebrate small wins like paying off a credit card or increasing savings contributions. Now, the second one is saving and investing, right? Build an emergency fund covering 3 to 6 months of expenses. Understand investment options, right? Bonds, stocks, or retirement accounts, and their risk-return trade-offs. Start early to leverage compound interest for long-term growth. Third, credit and debt management, right? Here's the immediate action. So lower credit utilization. Keep balances below 30% of your credit limit, ideally under 10%. Pay down balances before the billing cycle ends to influence reported utilization. Request credit limit increases, right? Ask insurers for higher limits to reduce utilization without changing spending habits. So opt for soft inquiries to avoid score dips. Become an authorized user, right? Join a trusted person's credit card account with strong payment history and high limits. Confirm the account reports to all 3 bureaus. TransUnion, Experian, Equifax are the 3. Dispute credit report errors, right? Review reports for inaccuracies like duplicate accounts, incorrect late payments. File disputes with bureaus to remove errors impacting your score. Now, here are some long-term strategies in this regard. You can prioritize on-time payments, set up auto pay or calendar reminders to avoid missed deadlines. Past delinquencies hurt less over time if you maintain consistent payments. Build credit history, right? Keep old accounts open to lengthen your average credit age. Use a secured credit card if rebuilding credit. Ensure it reports to all bureaus. Diversify credit mix, so combine installment loans like auto with revolving credit like cards for a balanced profile. Leverage rent/utility reporting, right? Use services like Experian Boost to add rent, utilities, and streaming payments to your credit report. Now, here are some, common pitfalls to avoid. Limit hard inquiries. Space out credit applications to minimize score drops. Avoid closing accounts, so shutting cards reduces available credit, raising utilization. Steer clear of quick fix scams. Legitimate credit repair takes time and consistency. The fourth one is insurance and risk management, right? Protect against financial shocks with health, life, and auto and property insurance. So elevate coverage needs based on personal circumstances, right? Like dependents, assets, etc. Fifth is taxes. So learn tax filing requirements, deduction, and credits to optimize refunds or reduce liabilities. So six is scams and consumer protection. So recognize common fraud tactics, whether it's phishing, imposter scams, and safeguard personal information. So report issues to agencies like the FTC or CFPB. Now here are the life stage financial priorities. So in early adulthood, focus on budgeting, building credit, and starting retirement savings, right? 401k, IRA, etc. Home ownership, compare renting versus buying, understand mortgages and budget for maintenance costs. Car ownership, evaluate loans versus leasing, so insurance needs and total ownership costs. In regards to retirement, maximize employer matched contributions, diversify investments, and plan for healthcare expenses. Now, in regards to educational resources that you can use, there's the Khan Academy, free self-paced courses on budgeting, credit, and investing in taxes. There's Investopedia, which guides on banking, debt, and investment strategies, okay, in that regard. Now, we covered it a little bit. What are the most common financial scams? But let me go in depth as far as what they are and how you can avoid them. So we have phishing and impersonation. So how it works: scammers pose as banks, government agencies, or trusted entities via text, email, or call to steal login credentials, social security numbers, or payment details. Now, avoidance is never click unsolicited links or share personal info. Verify requests by contacting the organization directly using official channels. Cryptocurrency scams are the next one, like pig butchering. So fraudsters build trust through fake relationships, then push fake crypto investments with guaranteed returns. There's fake exchanges, so scammers lure victims to download malicious apps to steal funds. Now, the avoidance in this regard is block unsolicited messages, right? Research platforms thoroughly and avoid get-rich-quick claims. Now, there's imposter scams like government/charity fraud. So callers impersonate IRS agents, law enforcement, or charities demanding urgent payments. You have the grandparent/elder fraud. So scammers pose as relatives in crisis requesting wire transfers or gift cards. Now, the avoidance in that regard is independently verified claims. So government agencies won't demand immediate payments. There's debt collection scams. So here's how it works. Fraudsters claim you owe unpaid debts, often using threats or aggressive tactics. The avoidance is request written proof of debt and verify the collector's legitimacy via official directories. There's online purchase fraud like fake listings. So scammers advertise non-existent products on social media or marketplaces, often at unrealistically low prices. There's triangulation fraud. So stolen credit cards are used to fulfill orders, leaving victims liable. Now, the avoidance in this regard is use credit cards for buyer protection, avoid deals that seem too good to be true. We have sweetheart scams. Now, how it works is fraudsters, feign romantic interest on dating apps, then request money for emergencies or investments. Now, the avoidance in that regard is never wire money to someone you haven't met. Be cautious of rushed emotional appeals. Ransomware is, that is a big one, and how it works is clicking malicious links locks devices until a ransom is paid. Now, the avoidance is install antivirus software and avoid unknown attachments/links. Now, here's how to approach investing for long-term financial stability. The core strategies is define clear goals and time horizons. So identify objectives like retirement and home purchase and align investments with timelines. Short-term goals, which is under 5 years, may prioritize stability, whether it's CDs or bonds, while long-term goals over 10 years can leverage growth assets like stocks or ETFs. Embrace diversification, right? Spread investments across asset classes, be it real estate, bonds, stocks, those sectors and geographies to reduce risk. For example, in regards to equities, you have low-cost index funds like the S&P 500 ETFs for broad market exposure. There's fixed income, so bonds or bond ETFs for stability, international markets, global funds to mitigate regional risks, prioritize low-cost passive investments, use index funds or ETFs to minimize fees and avoid underperformance from active management. Automate contributions, like implement dollar cost averaging, like monthly investments, to smooth out market volatility and avoid timing risks, right? We have risk management, so align investments with risk tolerance. So assess your ability to withstand market swings. Younger investors may tolerate more equity risks, while those nearing retirement may shift to conservative assets. You can rebalance regularly, right? Adjust your portfolio annually to maintain target allocations, selling, overperforming stocks to buy undervalued bonds. Avoid emotional decisions, right? Stay committed during downturns. Historical data shows markets recover over time, and panic selling, often locks in losses. Now, the key habits for success is reinvest dividends. So compound, returns by automatically reinvesting earnings from stocks or funds. Tax efficiency, so hold investments longer than 1 year to benefit from lower long-term capital gain rates. Continuous learning, so stay informed about market trends and adjust strategies as needed. So that's what I have for you today. Please take a moment right now to hit that subscribe button and the like button. If you gained value from this video and you want more videos like this, hit that subscribe button and the like button right now. See you on the next video.